Hello, 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 hello. Okay, can you guys hear me and can you see me? Chart wheel. Let's move this. I'm gonna pop this over here for a sec. Hey Cavman, I hope you're doing well. Okay, let me move this down because I think we can see the the time over my noggin. We can see and hear you type in. Sorry, my bad. It's crazy, isn't it, for an Aquarius how untechy I am. Alright, great. So no funky mic issues this time, which is awesome. Okay, so here we are. Moon in Gemini today. So as many of you know, I'm running a Kickstarter as part of this whole Tracking the Moon series, which I'm absolutely loving, learning tons about. And it's funny as well because, like, you know, it's not until you do something like this where you use some of the stuff that you know that you actually kind of realize how much you do know. And a part of it for me was, you know, like I feel super confident with my tarot stuff, but the astrology, not so much. So it's been really nice to kind of remember that actually I know stuff, and that I have kind of a little bit of a handle on it. And I realised as well when I was looking at the last transit that I completely glossed over the T-square that was taking place at the time. So there you go. It just goes to show you. But yeah, hi Sharon, lovely to have you. So guys, first things first, I just want to say a massive thank you for you being here, for being a part of this, for being a part of Radiant Reality. It really does mean a lot. For all of you wonderful people who have already pledged as part of my Kickstarter, you've already taken me to 74% of my goal. Which is mind-blowing to me because there's still like 20 something days to go. So thank you so much for that. So at the moment I am not taking bookings for readings. If you want to get yourself a reading, you do have to go through the Kickstarter. If you want to get yourself one of my amazing calendars, well, I say amazing, I'll let you guys be the judge of that. You can do that as part of that. I'm gonna put the link for that in the description if you want to check it out. And with that said, I'm going to get straight into it. So again, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being a part of the community. And thank you for spending your Sunday with me, you know, or some of it anyway. That really means a lot. So I have my notes and I'm going to put them on the laptop. And you have to let me know if it affects the sound. Because last time everyone was like, ah, you ruined the sound. I can't hear you. Happy to catch this on my birthday. Wow, happy birthday to you, Olivia. This is really interesting as well. So if your birthday is today, this means that you have a birthday eclipse, basically. I mean, it's not the exact day, but pretty much, right? So interesting. Make sure you make a wish tomorrow when the full moon hits, right? As always, before we start, I would like to bless the session and my cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So it looks like as well we have a celebrity astrologer in the house. If you guys don't know Heather from Astrology with Heather, what rock have you been living under? No, I'm joking. But yeah, if you don't know her, we've done an amazing project together where we've gone through the major arcana cards and looked at them through the tarot. It's not complete yet. We're hoping to finish that up soon enough. So yeah, check that out and make sure you hit subscribe on her channel so that you can watch the whole series, and also just check out her amazing astrology content. Another person I want to shout out is Denise Matthew, who has a channel called HD with HD Human Design with Denise Matthew. Check her out, she's brilliant. So yeah, shout out to more astrologers. Achuta Bava, who is actually my astrology teacher, amazing guy, really. Obviously Kelly Rosano. Who else? Nadia Shah, absolutely love her. She's just phenomenal. There's so many as well, and I always forget someone, so those are the ones that I can remember for today. So let's get into it. Moon in Gemini, right? So the moon is, as you can see on the chart wheel, you can see the chart wheel, right? Just want to make sure. Sound is a bit muffled. It's because I have my notes on the laptop, because it's the only way that I can actually read them. Alright, so I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to put them here, and hopefully that will be good enough. Alright, great. So let's get into it. The moon in Gemini. So the reason we're tracking the moon is because the moon in ancient astrology represented your mind and your body, and the reason being is because it was the changeable nature of your life. So the sun represented the path, right? It represented the soul and the things that were eternal and consistent, the things that effectively were beyond us. Effectively these were the things that were consistent and constant, whereas the moon represented the changeable nature of life, and so therefore your physical body, your mind, how it changes. Love Stormy Grace. Yeah, she's brilliant. She really is. She's a real sweetheart as well. I actually want to reach out to her and see if we can collab at some point. OJC Astrology is another one as well. She's brilliant. So yeah, this moon. The moon is now in Gemini at 0 degrees at the time that I started this, and I've tried to do them all the videos when the moon is literally at 0 degrees of the sign, so that we get the whole few days of the transit, and we can kind of see how we feel, what goes on in that time. It's really interesting reading the comments as well from you guys, because it kind of lets me know what was on and what was speaking to us or what wasn't at any given moment. So the moon coming into Gemini, this moon is expressive and it's communicative and it's seeking. So Gemini likes to seek the facts and the information and take from this, that and the other. So it's a seeking moon. It's also fun and youthful. It's fun and vibrant. Air moons, I think air moons are quite great, and the reason I love the reason I love air moons is because we can think about how we feel. It gives us a little bit more of a rational detachment. So this is a communicative and talkative moon. And the beauty of this is as well, let's look at this from another perspective. So this moon is at the moment is moving through the sign of Gemini, and it will culminate in that full moon eclipse. And what's really important to remember here is what's the planet that rules. The planet that rules Gemini is Mercury. Where is Mercury right now? Mercury's in Scorpio. So we have to look at that link, right? The planet that rules this sign is currently in the sign of Scorpio. So although this is fun and communicative and expressive, there's still that element of depth to it. Now, this is not to say that Gemini is superficial, but it likes a broad knowledge rather than a deep knowledge. And so with Mercury currently in Scorpio, it's going to allow things that come up at the moment to be observed and examined in a deeper way than maybe normal. So this is a moon for thought and speech and consideration. It's a moon there is a lot of oxygen to be high on. I like that. It's a moon to think and to speak and to consider things, right? Gemini likes to have options, and in order to make a choice or make an option, you have to consider, right? That's a part of it. And it's also a moment as well where we consider what our options are and how we can apply those to different methods, and the different methods that we understand to different things. That part of it is really important. It's an insightful and a logical moon, but it still has that element of fun to it. It's an eclipse full moon, right? So feelings are going to be observed and considered as something to be examined rather than felt. And what I like about that is it kind of allows us to do that whole, remember with the Aquarius moon, when the moon came through Aquarius, it allowed us to detach a little bit. That's one of the reasons I like air moons, is because it allows us to think about how we feel and not necessarily react from or about anything, which is great. So interestingly enough as well, I'm sure you've all seen the scenes, even if you haven't seen the film. I'm sure you've at some point seen the X-Men, Quicksilver. He's the guy that can run really fast, and it's like to him, everything slows down, but he's moving at like this really sort of speedy, kind of move. The Gemini to me feels like Quicksilver, something or someone that moves so quickly, and is able to process everything at lightning speed but still take it in. This has been a great time for talking things over and picking things apart. And that Mercury in Scorpio that's feeding its energy into this moon, because the moon's host is Gemini, right? It's going to allow us to really, pick things apart, but at a deeper level than maybe we normally would. This is a good time to experiment with ideas and feelings. It might also make us it might make everybody as well, right? Remember, it's a full moon, so feelings are a little bit closer to the surface. Hi Laurel, lovely to have you. We might get a bit defiant. We might see people getting a bit more defiant over answers that don't make any sense. So the cognitive dissonance as this moon moves through the sign of Gemini and goes through that eclipse that's coming up, there might be a lot of that where people are like, hang on a sec, there's a few holes in this plot. What the fuck is going on? Do you know what I mean? And then the truth may be somewhat elusive, but people aren't necessarily going to settle for what is. Just because something isn't clear doesn't necessarily mean that they're not going to be interested in what's coming. Do you know what I mean? And get into what the depth is. Remember, Mercury's still in Scorpio. So yeah, this is coming up. So that's today. The moon is currently at 0 degrees of Gemini. And what's going to happen as we come into tomorrow, I think that's the 30th, yeah. As we come into tomorrow, we're going to get into that eclipse, a full moon lunar eclipse, and an eclipse of the lunar kind, right? We're talking about endings and completions, and endings and completions can sometimes also mean terminations. Things coming to an end, things coming to a close, things coming to its final moment, its final breath, its final understanding. It could also mean that something's time in our lives has come. Maybe it's time to throw something out. Maybe it's time to replace something. Maybe it's time to complete something, right? And this is the difference as well. Like, endings and completions is where something is finite and that's kind of it. It terminates. Whereas a culmination, this can be where we finish something. And remember, a full moon, this is like when something is ripe. When something is ripe for the picking, like when you're picking for fruit when you're young and they say, oh, you can't eat that one because it's not ripe yet. A full moon is a time of things being ripe, which means a culmination. something that you've been working on, something that you've been building on towards, something that you've been building up could finally see its completion now, and then we could go on to, to delving into whatever it is, which is nice. I'm definitely here for all of that. So this full moon lunar eclipse, through the guise of Gemini, it means sending it off or out with a bang, right? Because Gemini likes all of that sort of fun kind of energy. So, it doesn't have to be like a heavy dun 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 kind of ending. Maybe it can be something that we send out with love and say, actually, you know what, that had a really good run in my life, but I feel like it's come to its final moment or its final end. This moon eclipse will reveal something to you in the depths of who you are, and through Gemini, it will help you express and release or initiate that thing. So this is the thing as well, right? When you have that, remember the full moon. If you, one of my old astrology teachers used to say, if you want to hide something, do it under a new moon. If you don't want something to be seen, don't do it under a full moon, because it's a full light, it's a full spotlight. And yes, it's going to be eclipsed, so we'll lose the light for a moment, but it's still a full moon, right? And this is the time where something could be illuminated to us, where something could be highlighted to us. And because it's in the sign of Gemini, we could be in the space, we could be in the right space to really talk about that, to communicate that, to express that. Right, okay, what is it that's come up for me? What is it that's been what is it that's been illuminated for me on a personal level? So in terms of from your ascendant, specifically from your ascendant, Aries, this could come up with things to do with siblings or your locality or your local, like your local area. Maybe something comes to a close there, or a connection in your local area comes to an end, or it completes. Maybe something you've been working on in terms of learning and studies, or a skill that you're gaining. Maybe that comes to a completion or a culmination now, and you think, you know what? I'm ready to no longer be a novice. I'm ready to do this to bring it out into the world. Taurus, this will be happening for you in your second house, the eclipse that is. And remember, guys, as well, no transit happens on its own, right? There's always other connections and stuff that are being formed, but I'm just talking about these specific bits. There's always going to be other mitigating factors in your chart, in the world, that's all a part of it. But I'm talking specifically as a tiny little snapshot to give you a rough idea of what this might bring up for you. For Taurus, this is your second house, which is your money, your worth. It might as well, because remember, it's a full moon lunar eclipse, so a completion or culmination, an ending or a termination, what no longer has value for you. Or, maybe how to increase the value of something or the worth of something becomes illuminated to you under the full moon, right? And so you then have to figure out, how am I going to use this to my advantage? For you, Gemini, this is going to be happening in your first house. Something about you, your mind, your body, maybe even your appearance. A big change of mind. Maybe you choose to take your life in a completely different direction. So this could be a big moment for you. If you're an ascendant Cancer, this is happening in your 12th house, releasing the past or some sort of baggage, unclenching a hurt or a wound of some sort from your past and saying, wow, you know what? I can see now how that really held me back, or how it created some sort of pattern of behavior in me that was no good for me. It could be something that you admit to yourself, or a distancing of yourself from someone or something in your life that you kind of feel, actually, you know what, that's only hindering me now. For those Leos among you, ascendant Leos, my brothers and sisters, this could be a release of friends. It might be an evolution. It might be an evolution of a connection of some sort, maybe a connection to a group or a larger organization. It might be the changing of a large goal or a plan for you as well. Maybe something is highlighted to you about a big goal or a big plan of yours, Leo, and you think, actually, you know what, I'm going to go in a different direction here. For those ascendant Virgo people, this could be, a reason to let go of how you're seen. It might see you release a project. So maybe something you've worked on for, a long time. Maybe you have worked on something for a long while and it's like, okay, you know what? It's ready now. The full moon, like ripe fruit, where something's, ripe for the taking. It's like, okay, yeah, you know what? Boom, we can do this. Like, actually, I'm ready to do this. I'm ready to release this out into the world. Libra, in your 9th house. And it's funny because I've just had Mars and the Mars retrograde move through my 9th house. And I tell you what, it was one of the most beautiful transits that I ever could have imagined. The amount of depth and wisdom and self-knowledge that came out of this through my connection to something bigger or beyond myself has absolutely been immense. So for you Librans, use this one to your advantage. Your beliefs and what you do or don't believe could be coming up. It may as well. It might be a decision to abandon some form of study, or to say, actually, I started down that path, but it no longer feels like the right one for me. For Scorpio, this is happening in your 8th house. A deep look into the mystical or even a psychic revelation. Remember, the full moon is a peak time for heightened psychic awareness, heightened intuitive sensitivity. So the fact that this is happening in your 8th house, it's shining a spotlight into that. And it might bring something from within you. It might awaken something within you. So pay attention to what comes up over this time. It might also see you releasing a wound or an acknowledgement. This might be some deep illumination that comes from within you and you say, wow, you know what, that's really been plaguing my mind or my psyche for a long time, and you could be letting that go. For Sagittarius, this could be teaching you this could be teaching you in a lot of ways. This could be teaching you staying power. It might see the end of a relationship or a connection, but on the other hand as well, it could be a realization that the relationship that you have is the right one, or that you want to take it to another level. Maybe you've just been seeing this person and you think, actually, you know what, I want to make this person officially mine. Maybe you're already married and then you think, you know what, I think I'm ready to start a family with this person. Like, it can take things to that next level for you. It doesn't always have to be doom and gloom or an ending. A good example, like for me, when that Aquarius lunar eclipse hit in 2018, 27th of July 2018, that was the day I literally got up from my desk, I walked out of my job, and I never went back, and I put all of my heart and soul into Radiant reality, and here we are on the other side of it. So it doesn't always have to be like an end and a brutal thing. Capricorn, this will be happening in your 6th house. Your health and vitality might begin to improve after a healing crisis. So if you notice over these next sort of few days that maybe, something that you've had maybe gets a little bit worse, or you come to this big realization that actually these habits that I've had, or this thing that I do, has contributed to the, to the feeling that I have, or the way that my health has been over however long. For Aquarius, this will be happening in your 5th house. Are you having fun, Aquarius? And if not, why not? Are you ready to be a parent? This is the 5th house after all. Some creative project could complete now. Something you've been working on behind the scenes for a long time. It may now finally come to fruition, and you might say, yeah, you know what? I'm ready to put this out into the world. And then finally for you Pisces, this is happening in your 4th house. Could bring up some family drama or a realization about the family. It might see a change to the home front in some respect. And, something about the family could come from within, like a big illumination, or maybe even a secret is divulged about the family or the family heritage. Now remember, that's just like a little snapshot of just the eclipse itself and the house that it falls in for each ascendant sign. Remember, this transit isn't going to happen on its own. There's going to be other factors to it. And also try to remember that beyond that, eclipses tend to unpack over a certain amount of time. I kind of see it, it's almost like the universe says, right, I'm giving you this gift, and when it comes up, you might be thinking, ooh, you know what, this is a little bit intense. But then over like the period of, I usually say, I think like 3 to 6 months, you start to realize, oh, okay, that's what this is route in me. You know, like I said, that day I literally just got up off my desk. I went on my lunch break and I just never went back, and that was it. And over the next 6 months, I literally worked my butt off so that when it came to that moment, when it came to the moment where I wanted to do, or rather when it came to me doing, I put all of the time that I used to spend at my job into Reydiant reality, and it's grown exponentially. So think about the way that you can use this. The moon, in terms of governing your environment, the home could become very busy over these next few days. It might be an out and about energy. You might find that you're called more away from home over the next few days. I'm kind of glad to hear that bit as well, because our lockdown on the 2nd of December, our lockdown is lifted. We're finally allowed out. And yeah, another thing as well, I always say this as well for any moment of any time, to be honest, because I do it a lot, just from an energetic point of view. This could be a great time to stir up the energy of the home by moving it around, creating difference in the space, rather than, you know, if you can't change the space or you can't make it bigger or anything like that, just change things around, move and stir the energy in another way if you can't do it that way. All right, so let's see. I think, oh no, there's me wall again. Right. Ooh. There we go. I think. Wrong one. iPad. No. Bloody hell. Webcam. Haha. There we go. And I'll put me in the corner. I think you can all see that. And I think this time we've got it pretty much bang on. Oh no! I'm so sorry to hear that, Heidi. That's awful. Guys, if you're in Canada, I send you so much love, and I truly hope that things get better for you quickly. I'm so sorry to hear that. I didn't realise it was going to be until post-Christmas. I mean, they did think about doing it here, and then I think they kind of figured that actually if we don't start letting people out, they're going to go mad. So, yeah. All right. So, let's get into the cards. We have the moon in Gemini, right? And I'm really tempted to put another card in here. And yeah, I think I'm going to do it. If I were going to put another card in between those, which card do you think I would put in? Brownie points to anybody. It's quite a big, sort of very vague question as well, so I don't know if anybody will get it, but it'd be interesting if somebody does. If I were going to put a card in here, remember it's a lunar eclipse, it's going to be an ending, a completion, and a culmination. If I were going to put another card in here, in between those, what would I put? Hey, hi Tony. That lady with the moderator's spanner is Tony. She's a wonderful lady and actually a brilliant writer. Okay. Hey, Fabiola. Well done. Well done. Fabiola got it, right? So, brilliant. Laurel got it. Excellent. Ill got it. Excellent. There were some really good answers from everybody else, but specifically, that's great. Fantastic. The card that I would put in here would be this, the Death card. It would be the Death card. Right? So I totally understand why people have said the Sun. I get that. Hermit, maybe not so much. Tower or Star, I can see why. Yeah, no, I totally get it. There's some brilliant answers, guys. Some really, really brilliant answers. But the reason the Death card is a couple of reasons. One, remember, Mercury is currently in the sign of Scorpio, and this full moon lunar eclipse is going to be hosted by Mercury, and also because the eclipse is an ending point, it's a culmination, so it's the Death card. That moment of death, that moment of ending, the moment of clarity, at the basic depth of everything that the Death card represents, there is an understanding that it is the great leveler, that all things in all times, in all places, at some point must come to an end. And the reason being is continuity. There's a reason that the moon goes through a cycle, and when it's at new, you can't see it. It's a dark moon. That's the moment of death, of ending, of completion. Same with a full moon. It cannot get any bigger. So what has to happen from there? It must wane to the point where it disappears into nothing and then comes back out. Right, so yeah, fantastic. Love your work. Numerology reading you gave me years ago was phenomenal. Thank you so much. That really means a lot. Yeah, this that Death card is spooky. I love this deck. I absolutely love this deck. I saw it as part of a Kickstarter, believe it or not, and I fell in love with it, and I knew I had to have it. So, Moon comes through Gemini. And Gemini is ruled, or the card that represents Gemini is the Lover's card. You know, that dualistic sort of nature that Gemini has. It has that energy of being both masculine and feminine, ambidextrous, ambiguous. What's the word? Hermaphroditic. I can't say that word, so I'm going to stop trying. Right, it has that energy. And then there in between, you literally have the Death card. That is the moment at which we lose the light, of where the luminary disappears for a moment and then is reborn in some respect. So really powerful stuff, really. I mean, you know, that's the moon coming through Gemini and the eclipse there. So if I were reading those cards, the moon with the Death card and the Lover's card doesn't always mean the end of a relationship, though it could. One other way that you could read this is that some choice at this moment to release or let go of something needs to be made. And until that point has come, or that choice has been made, there will be no more growth. This could also be a decision from the past that now shows its meaning, its understanding. A decision from a past now starts to bear the fruits, or shows the ripples or the consequences or the outcomes of whatever decision you made in the past. Moon card, Death card, the Lovers, right? Moon card, the past, the culmination, the instinct to move or the intuition. The Death card, the end. The Lover's card, the choice, you know. Shameless little plug there. If you like the way that I read tarot and you want to learn, you can grab a space as part of my Kickstarter. I will be running the course again next year outside of the Kickstarter, but just a little heads up, the price will have gone up. So just be aware. Yeah, the reason she kept pulling the Lovers card is because they were all bloody the Lovers. He switched the deck. That's technically cheating as far as I'm concerned, but still very funny. All right, so let's get into it for the signs. All right, so we're going to start now. As always, I would like to bless my deck of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity, and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise. They help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So let's get into it. Aries, for your mind, you have the Temperance card, which in this deck is actually the she, which is, you know, all about things that are otherworldly in some respect. And in a lot of ways, when it comes to the mind, this could be a time, Aries, where you really decide to start looking into some of your decisions and maybe considering what or who is going to be affected with the decisions that you do make. On a personal level as well, this could see your mood might be very expansive. Your mood could be really focused on something that you want or need to learn at this moment in time, or it could see you processing something that you've learned over these next few days, and certainly in relation to the lunar eclipse. When it comes to the insight that's coming in, pay attention to your spiritual movement. Okay, anything that moves your spirit, whether it makes you laugh, whether it makes you happy, whether it makes you sad, whether it makes you jittery, pay attention to that spiritual internal hit that you get, especially on a mind level over these next few days. In terms of the body and the fortune, look at that. You've got the King of Wands. Love it. So Aries, over the course of these next few days, as the moon comes through the sign of Gemini, this is going to see you really in your own power. For me, the King of Wands literally represents the sign of Aries, but it could be another fire sign person that features for you when it comes to your money and your resources or your material expression. The King of Wands is asking you what really feels like it is true for you now. What really feels like you want to be a part of, or want to present in some way, shape or form. What aspect of yourself are you ready to reveal at this time, or because of these moments that have happened? And then on a spiritual level, and also Aries, your instinct over the next few days might be to really defend something or fight for something. In your spirit, you know, in your spirit card, you have the Fool card. Pay attention to your downloads, pay attention to your thoughts, your ideas. Over these next few days, keep a pen and paper handy, or, you know, if you have a thought, or, you know, like sometimes you have a thought and it turns into like a bit of a runaway train, speak it as a voice note into your phone. What you gain over these next few days, especially because of this lunar eclipse, could be invaluable to you. So pay attention, Aries. All right, Taurus. In the mind, you have the Lovers card. So this is going to show you some sort of decision that you need to make, or a choice that needs to be made, or just like the Oracle says to Neo, maybe you've already made the choice. And these next few days are going to start to highlight to you the Lovers card. You've already made the choice. The mood is jovial. It's focused on the things that you love, the people that you love. And now you're trying to understand where that fits in, and more importantly, why it's so important to you at this moment in time. Your insight is going to come probably through your relationships. What or whoever you value most in your life is going to reveal something to you over these next few days. Pay attention. When it comes to your body, you have the Knight of Swords, right? So this could be a few days where you kind of just want to charge into everything. Maybe you choose something, or maybe you decide, right, okay, you know what, I'm just going to charge in, you know, Knight of Swords on my horse. I'll worry about the details later. This could be a couple or a few days where you might decide to take a leap of faith and say, fuck it, I'll build you know what, I'm going to jump and then I'll build the plane on the way down. I don't always think that's a bad thing, because sometimes it's one of those things where you say to yourself, you know what, I've psyched myself so much that if I don't just do this now, I won't ever do it. You know, and then boom, you know, you find yourself having to kind of put your money where your mouth is. Your instinct over these next few days is probably going to be to attack something head on. And while I think that might be a good use of your energy, it may also be a time where you want to rethink some of your strategies, all right, or certainly refine them. And then for your Spirit card, oh wow, you have the Tree of Life, and I call this the Divine Intervention or Assistance card. So these next few days, something could come completely out of the blue that you're not expecting. It might be a gift or some sort of help or assistance that comes in. It may very well be, yeah, it might be as well. Maybe it's an idea that comes fully formed, or it's maybe like an internal push that kind of just says to you, this is what I need to do. And you might think to yourself, I don't know why I want to do this. I would never usually do this. But you feel that sort of innate, almost like you know, like a vortex that's pulling you or pushing you in a certain direction. Pay attention to your intuition, because this could be a few days where the gods really are speaking to you, which is beautiful. Footsteps of the gods, right? Follow them, look out for them. Someone asked me as well why I read the zodiac the other way round. There's no nefarious purpose behind it. I'm not trying to pervert anything. It's literally just because of the distance and because it's easier for me. So please don't take any offense. All right, so Gemini, in the mind, you have the King of Swords. So these next few days is going to see you really focused on how you show up in the world. It's going to see you really focused now on yourself. It's going to look at that, right? The King of Swords, very powerful card. For, you know, how you show up in the world, but also how you show up in your profession. So on the mind over these next few days, this could be something about your work, something that you are ready to release into the world, something that you've created. It might see you as well. Some of you could be looking over a document or some sort of paperwork. You might be considering something that needs to be signed or something that needs to be verified. Your mood could be very matter of fact over these next, and this is why I love the air moons. The air moons are great because you can not detach from your feelings, but you can do that whole zoom out thing. And with an air moon, especially under a full moon as well, where everyone's emotions are heightened, the air moons tend to give you that little bit of distance. It tends to allow you to think about how you feel rather than just kind of charge in like a bull in a china shop. Taurus. Which is great. The insight that's going to come in will likely come from somebody that's older or more experienced than you. So pay attention to this, whether this is a boss, a colleague, a friend. This is likely to be somebody that's older than you that's going to share some information with you that could be very pertinent. Again, pay attention. For your body, you have the Two of Cups. This is lovely. For those of you that are partnered or in relationships, these next few days may really highlight to you where a partner has really tried to help you, where a partner has really tried to be there for you, or where maybe, you know, with one of the things that my ex-partner gave me, and I truly believe that it was a gift. We're not together anymore, but I can talk about this because it's a really good example. So for you, Gemini, hear what I'm saying, right? One of the things that he was able to give me, he said, I don't understand what you're talking about because I've never had that experience, but I will support you in whatever decision you make. That may be the realization that you have about your partner over these next few days, Gemini, and that's a really beautiful place to be. For those of you that are single, you might suddenly decide, actually, you know what, I'm ready for love, I'm ready for a relationship, or I'm ready to collaborate, I'm ready to put something right when it comes to that, which is beautiful. On an instinct level, you will know. These next few days will highlight to you who you want in your life, what you will do to either get them or get them back, and you know, who or what you're ready to release. And on a spiritual level, you have the Moon card. This is why this is why I love tarot. So when I lay this wheel out, I don't look at the cards at all. I don't know what's going on underneath there. This is, you know, I'm reading these just off the bat as soon as I see them. And I love the way that tarot works. You see that? You got the Moon card in the spirit sector, which means you're tapped into this moon. This is your moon. Every single sign has one full moon a year. And if this is your full moon, if you're a Gemini, especially if you're a Gemini ascendant, make a wish. This is your moment, right? Take a moment to really ask the universe for something that you truly want, need, or treasure. because you could have that fulfilled. And when it comes to your intuition, if you find yourself delving back into the past or reminiscing over things, that's a great energy. If you find yourself looking at all the things that have or could go wrong, divert your energy from that, because it's a waste of your time. All right. For Cancer and Cancer ascendant people, you have the Knight of Wands in the mind, right? So this is seeing you very focused on this is going to see you very focused on what is further afield. This could be travel for you. It could be what really sets you on fire, really makes you passionate. What are you passionate about? This moon and this, these next few days could really highlight this to you. And in your mind, you could be traveling. For those of you that are accomplished or even, dabblers, this would be a great time for some sort of astral projection. It would be a great time to let your mind wander over the things that you are passionate about, or even just to sit and think, right, I've had this idea a while ago, I want to do this, but is it the right thing for me? This is the biggest, most vast resource that you have. Let your mind wander. Let your mind be free over the time of this, especially because this moon is taking place in this lunar eclipse is taking place and shining a powerful light into your 12th house. Right, so this is going to highlight to you, I think, Cancerian people, what you're passionate about. And when it comes to your insight is going to come to those that either live at a distance from you, that are from a different cultural background, or there's going to be some realization from persons as such. Oh, wow. Look at that. In your body, you have the Sun card. So this is this next few days as the moon comes through Gemini, may really highlight to you where and how you can make more money. It might highlight to you where you want to move, where it is that you feel you're being drawn to next, how you can enhance the environment that you have if you don't want to move, how you can bring more of the outside or the outer world into the home to make it that space for you. And on an instinctual level, this is drawing you towards more joy and happiness. And anything that happens in the 12th house is always heavy, right? But the purpose of that, and I truly believe this, when you have something happen in your 12th house, it's like the universe saying, we're clearing this part of the baggage. This bit needs to be let go. This is the bit that's being highlighted in your past, from your past lives, from your past self. Shit, from just your past bloody being. Do you know what I mean? Like, who you were last week is not who you are today, because you didn't know all the stuff then that you know now. Right? But so whenever you have something happen in the 12th house, I see that as kind of like the universe saying, you're ready for more now. Whether that's joy, happiness, abundance, love, sex, money, whatever it is. You're ready for more now, but we've got to clear the closet out first. Right? We've got to empty your cup so that we can refill it with fresh water. On a spiritual level, Cancer, you have the Lover's card. And this suggests as well that you are ready not only for love, but you are ready to make a decision. You are ready to make a decision or a choice that is going to benefit you. You're ready to make a choice or a decision that may distance you from others, but is the 100% right thing for you, for yourself. This is about finding a way to honor yourself by making a decision that may be challenging. Yeah, love it. Love it. Love, love, love. And on an intuitive level as well, this is going to show you who your people really are. Whether this is tribe, whether it's partners, whether it's friends, like whatever it is. For you Leo ascendant people, you have the 9 of Pentacles in the mind. Are you ready to finally stop working so hard and enjoy the good things in your life? And I think a lot of Leo ascendant people are going to be like, yeah. Like screaming, yes. When it comes to your mood over these next few days, it might just be that you're in that space where you're like, you know what, life is actually pretty sweet and I want to start enjoying more of it. I want to give myself more over to that Leonine energy. And the funny thing is as well, these last few years for Leo ascendants especially, and a lot of time, I think, the last year just for everybody, but you know what I'm saying, like, we had a lot going on, and I think over these next few days this might highlight to you where you're ready to have more of that energy. All right. When it comes to your insight as well, this is going to show you where there is beauty in your life. This Gemini moon transit / lunar eclipse is going to reveal to you where I need to make more room for the beauty in my life that is already there. Not about adding more or seeking more or grab, take. Not about any of that. Just saying, you know what? There is already beauty present in my life. There is already things and people to love in my life. How do I appreciate those now? On a body level, we have the Death card. So something is coming to a completion or an end. Something is coming to an end. And this is on a conscious level as well, because it's in the body, right? So you're going to feel this on a really powerful level. For some of you, this might be a project that you complete. For some of you, this might be you saying, right, I'm ready to stop working for so hard. Maybe this is you removing something from your life that doesn't bring you what it used to. On a fortune level, the Death card is going to see you getting really real with what you actually want, what you truly desire in your heart of hearts that can no longer and will no longer be ignored, what you truly want at the depths of who you are. And your instinct over these next few days, I mean, it's the Death card, let's call a spade a spade. You know that thing that you want to the point where you want it right in your bits. You want something so much that you can feel it in your tingly place. Right, this might highlight something like that to you, so again, pay attention. On a spiritual level, we have the Empress. Are you truly ready for more beauty? Are you truly ready for more abundance? Are you truly ready to now receive the fruits of all the hard work that you've put in? This is the moment, Leo. This next few days is really going to highlight this to you, and where the things that you say you wanted can start to become tangibly yours, where the gains and the acquisition of the things that you worked so hard for now show up for you. All right, beautiful. On an intuitive level, the Empress, pay attention to the women in your life over these next few days, because they may be very, very influential for you over the next few days. Former Virgo rising ascendant people, wow. In the mind, you have the Ten of Cups. This is that realization. Are you sure the tingly place is a message for Leo and not Virgo? Hey, listen, Virgos have just pulled the Ten of Cups as their mind card. Don't be greedy. I'm only joking. I love you much. Yeah, you got the Ten of Cups in the mind, right? So this, as the moon, and Virgo is ruled by Mercury as well, which is currently in Scorpio. So this moon will be affecting you sort of doubly as well. And the fact that you have that Ten of Cups, this is really going to highlight to you in that mental arena, in that mind energy, what home actually means for you, where home really is, and more importantly, who gives you that feeling. Who is it that feels like tribe? Who is it that feels like they are of true connection, right? Your mood over the next few days is just going to be, I kind of get this feeling that Virgos over the next few days and through this lunar eclipse, you're just going to be just looking at everyone and saying, yeah, you know what? No matter what it is or what they are, these are my people. Right, the Ten of Cups is a really beautiful card as an insight. This is going to see you probably feeling more at home within yourself, your mind, your psyche, and also within your groups than you have in a long time, which is beautiful. On a body level, you have the Queen of Wands, right? So this is lovely. This is about you having that embodied feeling, that being present in yourself feeling, that understanding that, you know what, I will present myself exactly as I am. Oh, sorry to hear that, lovely. The Queen of Wands as well. I often say about this card, it's about setting a firm boundary, right? And so in some ways, maybe this is realizing you know, in some ways, maybe the Queen of Wands is asking you to get really real about this and saying to yourself, okay, if this thing or this person doesn't want me, then it's clearly not for me. And I'm going to set a boundary, even with or for myself, that I will only go for what truly values me at a powerful level. And that Queen of Wands as well, when it comes to your fortune, this is about reminding yourself that as the Queen of Wands, or with that Queen of Wands energy, anything you desire, anything that you truly want, anything that you truly have your eye on, and you know, and say to yourself, actually, you know what, that resonates with me, can be yours. The Queen of Wands is not for being denied. The Queen of Wands is not for, and is also not for being ruled by anything or anyone. Out of all of the queens of the tarot, the Queen of Wands is the one that really puts her foot down. She is the one, the Lady of Fire. Is a very powerful card. If you know how to tap into her energy, this could really highlight that for you as well on an instinctual level. This really, really might highlight to you where you are either using or sitting on your power. You know, this is... it does symbolize the connection with the unknown. I prefer to call it the connection with the mysteries, because the black cat represents the things that can or cannot be known, you know, or it also represents the ability to learn what is hidden, you know, love it. And then for your spirit card, you have the Chariot. So this kind of suggests to me that this moon is going to highlight to you where your success lies, where your biggest where not even your biggest support, but where your highest path lay, which is beautiful. Really, really love that. On an intuitive level as well, this will see you having a really strong sense. This will have a really strong sense of, you know what, this path that's just opened up for me, or this path that calls me, this is where I'm supposed to be. This is where I'm supposed to go. For your Libra ascendants, in the mind you have the Fool card, right? This is really nice. This is seeing you connecting to the divine. This could see you having some really powerful insight, a download of some sort. Pay attention to your dreams. Pay attention to the weird moments over these next few days as the moon comes through Gemini and as that eclipse hits. Pay attention to people when they make a Freudian slip. Pay attention to when someone says, oh, I didn't mean to say that. Pay attention to when you see a glitch come up. Those are going to be the moments. Whenever you see the Fool card, or the green man in this deck, whenever you see the Fool card show up as a card for the mind, this is trying to show you that thing that is out of place, out of character, out of step. That is a message directly for you. When it comes to your mood, you might find over these next, sorry, that's me kicking the camera as I adjust my feet. As the moon comes through these next few, your mood might take on a jovial, but also maybe even a little bit of a mischievous kind of energy. You know, practical jokes, laughter, giggles, things that maybe are out of character for you. And the insight is going to come sudden and flashing. For your body card, you have the moon, right? So this next few days as the moon comes through Gemini and as the lunar eclipse hits, you might feel a visceral reaction to this moon. You might really feel it in your body. You may really feel it in not just your body, but all throughout your being. And that moon card is going to highlight to you where everything that needs to change is about to. The fact that you've got this coupled with the Fool card as well, this tells me that there is a big material change coming in for you, Libra, and this lunar eclipse is going to initiate that. When it comes to your fortune, your finances, your material experience, the moon card is asking you what you're holding on to that you know you should have already let go of. Sometimes it's a trinket, sometimes it's part of our wardrobe, sometimes, do you know what I mean? Like there's so many parts of it. So this could be, you know, really, that's one way of looking at it for sure. Your instinct, right? Libra, over these next few days, what are you afraid of? What is it that you feel like is bigger than you? This could highlight that to you. And then for your spirit card, look at that. You have the Hermit, right? Powerful, really powerful. On a spiritual level, the big message that comes from the Hermit card is you're not going to find what you're looking for where you are. You can't do it the way that you've always done it. You're going to have to figure or find something new. You're going to have to go on a journey of some sort. Maybe a physical, literal one, or maybe an internal one. This would be a powerful time for you to look out for that. For your, on an intuitive level and on a wisdom level, this is maybe a time to connect with your, like everybody has that one weird and wonderful friend. Usually in my circles, it's me. Right, but we've all got that one weird and wonderful. Can you imagine my weird and wonderful friends? All jokes aside, usually we all have that one person. Check in with them over this moon transit, because it may very well be that that person has a message for you, or is the signpost that kind of points to you and says it's actually over there, and it will come through some sort of a conversation. Why do I say that? Because the moon is coming through Gemini. It's going to be through communication, through speaking, through airing something out. Scorpio. Ooh, look at that. You got the Four of Wands in the mind. This is you just really figuring out and wanting that fun, happy, vibrant experience. It sees you really delving in and saying, actually, how do I get the most out of life? And more importantly, am I ready just to move into that space of enjoyment? One of the things that I think we do a lot in the modern age, we kind of enjoy things, but not too much. So, well, that's enough of that now. You can't just have a good time all the time. Life has to be serious. What, all of the time? This is, Heidi, you. This is going to highlight to you over these next few days, and especially because of this. I love that. I like to call myself eccentric. LA Taylor. You've got that. Four of Wands, Scorpio ascendant people. These next few days in this lunar eclipse are trying to show you how you can enjoy life more, but also what you need to celebrate. Sometimes the way that we change our experience, or the way that we rewrite something in our history, is to celebrate what we want and welcome it in that way, rather than focusing on releasing. And do you know what I mean? And I said this to a client just recently. Sometimes we need to accept the fact that we're already healed, instead of keep looking for the experience of being healed. So Scorpio, this is for you over these next few days. And the mood that the Four of Wands gives you is just fun, happiness, celebration. There is going to be a reason for you to celebrate over these next few days and this lunar eclipse. Love it. I know, it's crazy. I don't think I've had this many people live at any one time, which is wonderful. Thank you all so much for being here. So you got the Six of Pentacles in the body. This could be somebody bringing you good news about finances. This could be a connection with a partner or a loved one. If you're in a relationship, this could be the partner's money or the finances coming good. You could both have a reason to celebrate. You could both have a reason, and maybe a material or a financial one, which is lovely, right? On a fortune level, on an instinctual level, this is going to highlight to you where you either give too much, but it may also highlight to you where you need to get into the process or into the habit of accepting more. Oh yeah, sorry, ill. Love you tons. It's not personal, I swear. Although I actually think my client said that to me at the time. She was like, oh. She was like, it was on point, but damn. And I was like, I love you still. I just, I have to be honest. So Scorpio, look at this, right? And I find this really, really interesting. Your moon transit is taking place in your 8th house, and you get the High Priestess as your spirit card. Pay attention to your intuition. Listen to your inner intuition. Listen to your inner Forget guidance system. It's beyond that. It's bigger than that. Listen to your psychic impressions. Listen to the whisper up the back of your neck, the roller coaster gut that your intuition gives you, the dream that you have that was so powerful that it pulls you out of your sleep. Your intuition is really going to be very heightened over these next few days. So stick with it, right? This is powerful stuff for you, Scorpio ascendant people. For Sagittarius, in the mind, you have the Justice card. Love it. And this suggests to me that over these next few days, you've already come into an understanding. This is where you are ready for, I want to say, I'm just checking my mind to see, like, can I say that? And I'm like, yeah, fuck it, I can say that. I know that there's the people that are on my channel, I know you guys, and I know you get it. And I don't use words like this very often, which is, I think, why, when I say certain things, you're like, wow, okay. This could be you forging a new soul contract in some way, shape or form, whether this is you making a pact with the universe to say, you know what, I'm ready for this. This could be you, over these next few days, you could really discover what you're now ready to commit to. What maybe in previous times or previous incarnations or previous versions of yourself in this incarnation, this could see you saying, you know what, I'm ready for that next experience and I'm ready to tie myself to this or this person or this thing deeper than ever. Your mood could be really balanced as well. It's the Justice card. It rules Libra after all. So you could find that your mood over these next few days is just really calm. It's serene. Maybe you're just consistently able to find your next word, or do you know what I mean, or what somebody needs to hear at any given moment. Powerful stuff. Your insight will come in the same way. In your body, you have the Four of Swords, right? So Sagittarius, take a break, take a rest. This is a moment for you to really, again, much like, I can't remember who I said this to earlier, but be in your body, right? Give yourself a moment of rest. Give yourself a moment to say, yeah, okay, you know what? I am here. This reminds me of that Beyonce song, I was here. Right, but this is that moment. Actually, for all of you are Sagittarius ascendants or Saggy people, listen to that song, I Was Here by Beyonce. I think it will really, especially over these next few days, it will hit you very powerfully. In fact, all of you listen to it, see what you take away from it. But specifically for you Saggies, that Four of Swords is asking you to be in your body, to take a rest, right? And because you have it there for your fortune as well, the message there is you don't need to externally seek something. You just need to, I know I sound really like airy fairy and woo woo when I say this. You just need to align your vibration to what it is that you want. This is a powerful manifesting moment for you, Sagittarius. Ask yourself, what do I truly want, need or desire, as Heather always says? Put your energy in the same state of flow as that and say to the universe, bring me this. And over this next few days of this lunar eclipse transit, you're going to see, right? Someone or something will pop up and say, right, okay, boom, this is what you need. This is how you're going to get that. This is how you're going to manifest what it is that you call, right? So call for the thing. And then pay attention to who shows up to show you how to bring that into your life. And then for the Spirit, you have the Magician card. Yeah, of course you do. Right? This is the time for magic. And the time for magic and the way that you access that magic is going to come from everybody else around you, from all of your connections. The right moments, the right people, the right energies are coming in, the right connections that are going to help facilitate you achieving a big goal. Finally being able to hold something tangible in your hands that you've wanted for the longest time. This is how it shows up for you. On an intuitive level, I think this is going to highlight to you who you already know. How to clear your stuck energy and overcome procrastination and laziness. It's a good question. All right, so how to clear your stuck energy? Whirl up the space, clean your room, right? Move the bed out, clean the dust behind the headboard, pull your drawers out and fold everything and put it back neatly. These sound like really stupid, mundane tasks, but they stir up the energy in the space. If you want the energy within you to be stirred up and start to move the stuff in your space, right? How to overcome procrastination. Ask yourself how much you really want it. You either do or you don't. There's no in between. And then when it comes to the laziness part of it, laziness comes from either sadness or boredom. Bottom line, it's either one or the other. You're either sad and depressed or you're bored. Whichever one it is, figure that out. If you're bored, ask yourself, what is it about my routine that is really making me unhappy? And then on the other side of it, if you're sad and it's that you're depressed, ask yourself, okay, right, so if I'm sad and depressed, what about my routine or my day-to-day experience needs to change? Love that. Mona, brilliant, 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 brilliant. It's funny, I do that already. So I don't know what book you got that from, but yes! Jordan Peterson vibes. Do you know the funny thing is, I've heard so much about this guy and I've never watched any of his videos, and so many people keep saying to me, Raf, you need to get on this guy, and I'm like, okay, cool, so I think I'll do it. Thank you, Fabiola. Capricorn, you have the 5 of Cups. Beautiful, right? Well, I say beautiful, challenging. Let's be honest, it's the 5 of Cups. This is about loss. It's about release. It's about untethering yourself from something. And the fact that you have this in your mind, this could see you going through a few days over the next few, my dear Capricorns. It might see you being really real with yourself with what has to go. Maybe with who has to go. And you might have to really find a way to express this, to speak it, to communicate it. You know, this could be a friend, it could be a partner, it could be, you know, I was just going to say your internet provider. It's like, it's not you, it's me. do you know, that's what I saw in my mind. I was like, maybe not, Raf, but you get my point. On a mood level, if you find yourself being more pensive over these next few days, this is the reason. This is really one of the things that you need to delve into when it comes to your insight. Ask yourself what you have released or let go of in your past that you either miss or regret. And that could really bring you an illumination, because Capricorn, when you come into that space of just accepting, actually, you know what, I wish I could have done that better. I wish that person, that thing was still in my life, or I wish I could have done it another way. That acknowledgement, right? Just that moment of saying, okay, that is how I feel, is enough to release you from the energy of that feeling. For your body, you have the horned god, right, which is actually the emperor, right? This is about you really asking yourself to step into your power, and not the usual power that you always understood yourself to have. This is about finding a way to draw it out of people, not from the way that people view Capricorn energy, but from a new place of personal self-understanding, wisdom, and sovereignty. On a, what's the word? On a fortune level, this is very likely going to show you over these next few days and through this lunar eclipse, it's very likely going to show you where the figures in your life, bosses, mentors, coaches, either need to change, maybe need to be upgraded, or 5 of Cups right next to it, let go. That's the question that you're going to be sort of given over these next few days. Powerful, powerful stuff. On an instinctual level, this is going to show you, it's going to really, really get you into that space of understanding where you need to act, where you need to put your energy, where it's best spent over this time. Already done, Gemini, lovely. Ages ago, actually. All right, for your spirit card, you have the Faith card, which is also the Hierophant card. Where is it that you are not only ready to be your own authority, but I think for a lot of you, on a really practical level, if there's something you've been thinking about applying for, or something you've been thinking about going in for, or stepping into, or elevating yourself to, this next few days is going to show you how to do that. On a wisdom level, this will give you a really powerful insight into where maybe you need to employ or enlist somebody that is also, do you know what I mean? Just watch the video back. It's going to be up. So just go back and watch the moment. Yeah, Capricorn. And then on an intuitive level, I'm going to say this to you. You see the figure on the card? What's he doing? He's in a moment of quiet contemplation, which is also known as prayer. Capricorns, this is a moment to pray. Not because something awful is taking place in your life, but because that connection, that true moment of connection, to really take time to speak to what is bigger and beyond us, allows us to glimpse something else of the plan that we may have missed. For Aquarius, in the mind, you have the Queen of Cups. So this is going to see you really focused on not only the women in your life, but it may be your mother or a parent. It might see you wanting to become a parent. It might see you very focused. And I know 2020 did this for a lot of people. I know a lot of people that really wanted, children and wanted to start a family. And then, 2020 and the whole COVID thing hit. And a lot of them were like, I don't want any children. I never want that. No, I don't want that anymore. Whereas this next few days, because the Queen of Cups to me, as I read in my system, is the archetypal mother and wife, right? This is somebody that knows how to do the domestic really well, knows how to find that connection, knows how to nurture and nourish. And for anybody out there going, gender in the cards, and meh, 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 the Queen of Cups can also represent gay men. And I've seen it represent plenty of gay men before you even start down that train, okay? So when I'm talking about nurturing and nourishing and the archetypal mother and wife, this doesn't necessarily mean anything to do with gender. It's about being able to find those things within yourself. So for those of you that want children, want to start a family, this may come back on the cards for you, especially if this year had maybe frightened you away from it. All right. When it comes to your mood, you could just find that you're more attuned to the easier and the happier and the brighter vibes. And also you might find yourself wanting to offer that experience to more people. On an insight level, one of the things that comes up for you as well may very well be that you understand on an innate level that somebody wants or needs something, but is maybe not able to speak that want or need. That's the thing about the Queen of Cups. She intuits so much that she's able just to say, okay, this is what you want. This is what you need. It's the person that brings you the glass of water before you say, I'm thirsty. It's the, I made you a sandwich before you even say, oh gosh, it's that time, I'm starving. It's the hug and the touch on the back of the head when you're already feeling a bit low. That's the Queen of Cups. It's knowing what someone or something needs before they've even spoken that need. This might really come up for you over the next few days. Aquarius, in your body, you have the Eight of Pentacles. That's an interesting mix. Where and how are you ready to nurture your career? Where is it that you're ready to nurture and upskill yourself? Where is it that you're able to... Where is it that you're able to intuit what your job or needs, work needs from you. And also as well, pay attention to this, because whether it's in your work, your field, if you work for somebody or you have your own business, you might come up with an innate understanding of, right, this is going to be the next pertinent thing, this is going to be the next big thing. You might spot a trend or understand something over the next few. No, not at all. Sorry. I know sometimes I come across as I'm being a bit preachy, and please don't ever take it like that. I completely aware that my way of reading is my way of reading. I am just one person. I am just one viewpoint. I don't know everything. I'm not all seeing. Never have I professed that. I just, as I've always said, I'm not actually that smart or that intelligent, but I know what I know. And that's good enough for me. When I know something deep in my bones, there's nothing that will make me change that. There's nothing that will make me backtrack from that. That's the Aquarian energy within me, among my hard-headedness. Yeah, well, maybe your cat doesn't have a Cancer moon. And then for the spirit, Aquarius, look at that. You've got the Wheel of Fortune, right? Love this. So on a spiritual level, this is really you understanding what the rhythms are. This is going to see you really being able to spot the trends and the themes that come up over the course of this moon transit, or maybe even because of the eclipse. This is going to see you maybe even being in the right place at the right time, or maybe somebody's trying to do something or create something, and the first person that comes to mind when they get to that bit that they need assistance with is you. All right. So if you get an invite, an invitation, or somebody says, I'm doing this, and you came to mind, pay attention to that, because the chances are that's been their divine inspiration. And this is an opportunity shaping up for you that could change everything. All right. And then finally for Pisces, in the mind, you have the Four of Cups. So what's going to highlight for you this moon transit is going to see you really discovering what you need. It's going to see you really being very honest with yourself as well over these next few days about what your needs are, about what nurturing and nourishing looks like for and to you. And it might see you as well these next few days. You may either be able to snap out of or recognize where you've been in a funk. It might see you as well, your mood. Maybe something over these next few days as well highlights to you what you don't have, and it might show you, okay, you know what, I can make do without that. I don't actually need, do you know what I mean? Like, actually, it could be one of those moments where you say to yourself, well, I can't do this because I don't have a spoon, right? And then you have a moment with yourself and you say, you don't actually need the spoon, do you? And you've got other ways that you can do this. And then you kind of go, yeah, actually I can. Right? The insight that you need will come spontaneously from somebody else. It will come from an outside source, but it will come. All right. And it's going to be the final piece of the puzzle that you need to move ahead with what you want. And then for your body, you have the Six of Wands. Pisces. Over these next few days, I want you to praise yourself. I want you to pat yourself on the damn back. I want you to be your own cheerleader. I want you to be in that space of saying, yeah, you know what? Actually, I'm pretty awesome. Actually, you know what? I'm worth it. All of those things, those affirmations and mantras that you could say to yourself, this is the moment where you would want to say that to yourself. That spoon thing all the damn time. The reason I use that is because I do this to myself a lot, right? There's been so many times where I'm like, well, I just can't do this because I don't have what I need. And then in the back of my mind, I've got that other little Raph going, and then I'm like, okay, fine. I've got everything I need. Heidi, yeah, these are specifically for your ascendant, but because of the eclipse, I understand that these may speak to everybody slightly differently. And I always say to everybody, please, by all means, listen for your sun, listen for your ascendant, listen for your moon sign as well, because after all, we're tracking the moon, right? But when I do, so usually when I read tarot in the weeklies and the monthlies, I will do a reading for all of the energy of that sign. So whether you're a sun, moon, or ascendant, it speaks to all of you. These ones I have targeted and specifically focused on the ascendant, but please feel free to watch all three and see how it speaks to you. And over the next few days, as the moon comes through Gemini, track it and just see to yourself, okay, how did that play out for me? And, you know, Raf said that this was going to take place. Did it work? Did it speak to me? Did it happen? Did it come about in another way? That's, you know, that's just a way to use this. Pisces, on an instinctual level, that Six of Wands is really asking you to tap into that energy of allowing yourself to shine, speaking up at work, putting your hand up before anybody else in the class, putting yourself in front, asking yourself to, not even asking yourself, but putting yourself forward when they ask for a volunteer. Something that usually Pisces is like, yeah, you know, I don't really want to do that. But this next few days might highlight that to you. And you know what? You could find so much nourishment and nurturing from that. So yeah, great. And then for your spirit card, you have the Temperance card. And that's lovely. Right, so what this is, yeah, I've already done Cancer, but if you just pull the video back, you'll be able to watch for your sign. And then once I've finished, I always put the timestamps in, so you'll be able to catch your bit or your moment. All right. Yeah, Pisces, you have the Temperance card in the spirit. And what this gives you is an innate understanding of how to move yourself into the vibration that you choose rather than the one that you have. This is going to show you on an intuitive level where, and as well for some of you, because you've got the Temperance with the Six of Wands, that's a very international energy. So pay attention to where you might be connecting with a foreign national, somebody from a really different background, maybe somebody that's possibly even a little bit religious. What this might also give you as well on a wisdom level, you might find that looking at the ways that other people, you know, maybe your predecessors, maybe your ancestors, maybe different cultures, looking at how other people have done what it is that you want to do. And this could really, you know, you might get an intuitive hit. So over the next few days, just look out for anything that is kind of out of your usual norm or out of your remit. And then, you know, just see what kind of intuitive, oh, that's for you, you know, comes up. It happens to me a lot. Like, you know, those moments where you walk past, well, certainly not at the moment because of the lockdown, but maybe you walk past a couple of people and they're having a conversation and the thing that one of them says just absolutely resonates with you, or you flick the TV over or an advert comes up on your phone and it's boom, like it's, you know, it's just something really profound because it speaks directly to you. I never forget one day, me and my friend, we were just, this was about 5 years ago, we were sat on my bed just shooting the crap, talking about all kinds of rubbish, and the TV was on for background noise. And I literally was just telling her this story about how, you know, when I was little, for me, it was always like unicorns and what was the other one? You know, the Pegasus. I was obsessed with the Pegasus horse. Like, I just had this fixation. And so, you know, I was talking about, you know, my childhood and my youth and and how, you know, I'd overcome some of my past. And I shit you not, we both then turned to look at the TV. And as the image changed, it was just this big winged horse with like a unicorn on it. And I shit you not, the pair of us must have jumped about a foot in the air. And it's just like, you know, sometimes those moments where you have a validation from outside, pay attention over this moon transit, because Pisces, you could have something like that happen for you, and it just validates what you know or what you intuit. So that is my take through Astro Tarot on the lunar eclipse coming through the sign of Gemini. I hope that this has spoken to you. I hope that these are serving you well and helping you through. It's amazing that so many of you are checking in on these and that they speak to you. And I'm super, super grateful for your comments and all of your subscribes and your likes. And I love the way that you guys speak to and support each other in the chat, in the comments. It's really wonderful to see. As I said, I created Reydiant Reality, but you guys are the ones that make it what it really is. And that's very humbling to me. You know, I feel really connected to something, so thank you. Yeah, I truly hope these help you. Remember, if you want to grab a goodie or grab a reading at a great price, you can check out my Kickstarter. I will say no more on that. Yeah, you know, a Gemini trait is to have lots of sort of surface knowledge about lots of things, like a broader understanding, but not necessarily a depth of understanding. And because you've got Mercury is still currently in the sign of Scorpio, remember that affects the moon, because the moon is in Gemini's sign, so it's hosting. Mercury in the sign of Scorpio is hosting that moon. You know, Mercury in Scorpio is deep, it's penetrative, it wants more than a surface knowledge. It needs to know more, it wants to know more. So it takes that element of Gemini that wants to know, and it sort of says, right, well, it's not enough to know this, I want to know this as well. I want that nitty gritty of all of it, not just the stuff that everybody knows. I want the, you know, even more detail than usual, which is great. So with that said, I wish you all an abundance of all of that good stuff. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all of your comments, all of your love, and I will see you guys soon. So the next one will be on December the 2nd or the 3rd. It may be late, unfortunately, because I have something else that I'm working on that I will be releasing for you guys soon, so I'm not going to be able to do it at the time that the moon is at 0 degrees of Cancer, unfortunately, because it's either too early in the morning, and so I might be late that day, or I might not, I might end up doing the Cancer moon transit but a little bit later, so I apologize for that in advance. But I've got something else that I'm working on that actually you guys asked me for, and have asked me for several times, so I'm trying to fulfill that, and so that's why I'm going to be busy on the 2nd of December. So if the moon video is late, we won't catch it at 0 degrees, but I'll still put something out. All right, with that said, take care. Blessed be to you too. Thank you, my darling. That's wonderful. Blessed be to all of you. Take care. Thank you all so much, and I will speak to you soon.